And that's all on that. I had the last thing, especially since we're almost out of time. I know you like it better when we do it ourselves, but it really helps us to hear you do a rampage of appreciation. And if you could offer an example for us, that would be...
we will selfishly offer you a rampage of appreciation from our point of view about that which we have experienced in the last few days and pointedly today. In other words, rather than superimposing ourselves into your experience and speaking from your point of view, we're going to speak purely and selfishly from our point of view. And we want to begin by acknowledging that it was not with any sense of accidental bumbling and stumbling that you decided to project yourself egotistically into this time-space reality. You knew that you were genius focusing deliberate creators, and you knew that this was the leading edge of thought, and you knew that the contrast was at its furthest most poignancy and therefore at its greatest benefit to you. And you said, I will go forth and participate in this variety. And those of us who did not focus as specifically as you did, then and now feel appreciation beyond description at your willingness to peruse the contrast for the benefit of coming to new conclusions for which we get to give our undivided attention. We know that as you play with one another, that there are opportunities for you to get slightly out of balance. And we know that the emotional sensation that you feel when that happens is not pleasant in the moment. But still, even understanding that possibility, not just possibility, that probability, you came forth understanding that the benefit from your perusal of contrast was so much greater than any negative emotion that you might feel during the interim. You said, I not only willingly go, I eagerly go. You came with no sense of assignment. You came with the eager enthusiasm of a knowing genius creator. And so that part of it is easy for you to hear and easy for you to understand. But the appreciation that we feel for you goes far deeper, because now long after you've made those intentions, and long after you've been steeped in the variety of your environment, and long after you've been able to examine your world and see so many things that are painful for you to see, still you stay there seeing it and knowing at deep levels of your being that life is supposed to be good for you. In other words, we are appreciating that that spark of wholeness has kept alive within you enough that you are asking and reaching. Do you know across this planet that there are very few leading edge creators that are willing to hang in there and ask the questions to the degree that those of you here are doing? Do you understand the value of listening to the recordings and getting up to speed and having a situation that doesn't feel right, and then reading a process and deliberately applying it, and then coming back and asking your question again, and then listening to the others and applying it to your own life? In other words, a conscious, deliberate sifting of the data and a deliberate application of that which you're hearing from us is putting into this mass consciousness a thread of continuity that is life-giving for generations to come. In other words, when we call this the awakening, we're not kidding. And you, leading edge genius creators, are the strongest component of that motion forward. It is our desire that in this time that we've been together, that you catch just a whiff of our appreciation. And we want you to think of us as those proud parental birds, if you will, that know that you have the ability to do what you were born to do, and we're off in the pasture watching you take flight after flight, calling you forward, knowing, not hoping, knowing, not believing, knowing in your ability to be or do or have what you choose to do. It is exhilarating to us to know that you have set it all into motion for you. You've not come to fulfill an assignment. You've come to fulfill your own creative desires. And watching you brings satisfaction beyond description. So when you have your celebratory moments, when goosebumps move up through you, when you well up with tears of appreciation and love, when you fall in love, when you love one another, when you love yourselves, you're not doing it independently of us. It's the feeling of alignment with us that is at the heart of those best feeling moments that you experience. We are all in this together. You cannot separate yourself from that which is us. And we can feel from all of you here and now that our appreciation of you is mutual. And there is nothing that pleases us more, even more than us getting to appreciate you, is you getting to appreciate us. Because when you appreciate us, you are us. In other words, no separation, you see. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain joyously incomplete.